The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
You're listening to Be Kind, Rewind with Tim Nydell, taking you back to when movies were actually good.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
When music wasn't auto-tuned. When TV only had a few channels. And now, here's your host, Tim Nydell.
Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Be Kind, Rewind with Tim Nydell. That is me, of course. And this is the show that takes you back to the good old days. Back when movies were good. I mean, there's good movies now, but there's a lot of bad movies out there, you know? A lot of bad scripts, a lot of bad actors, a lot of bad everything, and bad TV shows. So we're the show that takes you back to the good old days. And for this episode, I'm taking you all the way back to the year 1992, because we are talking all about X-Men, the animated series, with the voice of Wolverine himself, Cal Dodd.
Hey, Tin Woodsman, I'm sending you back to Oz in pieces.
Easily one of my favorite comic book characters of all time, Wolverine. And Cal, I mean, he's better than Hugh Jackman. Let's be serious. He's better than Hugh Jackman. Love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, but Cal Dodd is what I hear when I think about the character Wolverine. When I used to read the comics, Cal's voice is what I heard when I read those comics. And I love this show so much as a kid. I mean, it's still incredible today, but when I was 12 in 92, easily, it may have been my favorite cartoon series at the age of 12. And I remember every Saturday morning when the brand new episode was done airing, my dad would drive me to the local comic book store in Reno, Nevada, which is where I grew up, and we'd buy the newest issue of X-Men and sometimes the issues of X-Men Chronicles, which, if you remember, was a comic book that followed the animated series. So I used to love watching the animated series and then reading the comic associated with it shortly after. But before we go into the interview, please make sure to check out all the other amazing shows here on Fenix Media, the multiverse of pop culture entertainment. There's some good shows on there, so make sure to check them out. It's fenixmedia.us. That's Phoenix with an F, so it's F-E-N-I-X media.us. And if you're feeling up to it, you can advertise here on the show. So instead of hearing the commercials that you will hear in just a few minutes, you can hear your very own commercial advertising to the world. So you'll find all the information on the website I just gave you. Just click on the advertising little drop down right there, and you'll learn all about it. And while you're on the interweb, make sure to check out my personal website, timnydell.com. A lot of cool stuff on there. Got links to my YouTube channel, where I do celebrity interviews. I host panels at conventions. I go to Disney parks. Got vlogging on there, travel videos. Appreciate if you would follow me on YouTube. Got links to my other podcast, Saturday Morning Rewind, where I interview voice actors that I grew up loving as a kid. Got a little store in there if you feel like buying a shirt. And I just started a Twitch channel. I'll be streaming video games at least once a week to start off with. I've been playing Dead by Daylight quite a bit and stuff like that. So check out my Twitch channel. Again, all of those links are on my website, timnydell.com. But enough about me. Let's take a quick break, and right after that will be my interview with Wolverine himself, Cal Dodd.
Behold my precious. Ooh, yeah, let me tell you something right here, It's the Loot Crate subscription box, yeah, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude! Cowabunga!
To the Loot Gaming video game box.
Woohoo! Yee-hoo!
Good Friday Horror Box. What's with kids
today, huh?
Wowzers! With crits starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors.
To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/loot crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIX media.us/loot crate. Great Scott!
Snap into a loot crate, dig it?
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
Before you actually voiced Wolverine for the animated series, I saw that you were actually a singer. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, for many years. Well, I was a singer all my life. That's I mean that's the love. That's the love in my body is singing. Always has been, and I'm really good at it. And I was the top jingle session singer in Canada for. Well, I'm still there, but there's not much singing these days, jingle wise and stuff like that. But I used to do three a day.
Wow.
Every day. And, you know, whether it was group sing or solo, I mean, I was like the top solo guy, and I would fly to New York, fly to Chicago. You know, most of it was in Toronto. But, you know, it was every day. We worked every day for 20 years.
I was playing around on your website the other night and listening to a lot of the songs that were on there, and my God, that is an amazing voice there.
Oh, did you go to my website?
Yeah, the Cal Dodd one, yeah.
Oh, good. How did you like that?
It's great. Yeah, it moves around very well. I loved all the little audio clips and some of the video clips, and it was a nice website.
Yeah, oh, good. Because this is the first we've ever attempted, so, you know, this is all new to me. Of course, again, Donna did all that with some young kid, 20 years of age or something from a university around here, and he did a great job. So all those commercials, like, you know, they're all me, and everything that's on there, every voice, including if you hear harmonies and backgrounds, that's all me as well, like, you know, doing all the tracks.
Would you mind if during this interview, if I would just splice in maybe like 10 seconds of that audio so people can hear it?
No, sure. My favorite commercial is I know it's on there, but for Molson Canadian beer. Start twisting that beer cap. It's too hot under this collar. Anyway, you listen to and play whatever you want.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me. You want a Whopper? It's late at night. Come to Burger King and treat your hunger right. Tastes just as good as you. Oh, how I love you.
did not know this other side to Wolverine here, that he was a remarkable singer.
Well, this is what confused me too. What I find very interesting is that Hugh, he blew me, not blew me away, because it would take a lot to do that when it comes to singing, for someone to blow me away. Mm-hmm. But I was surprised when he was like a song and dance guy.
I know.
No, it really me off, actually. Not me off. But it's like, what is he doing? Wolverine shouldn't be doing that. The dancing with the girls twirling around and stuff. Was like, stop doing that. You stop that right now.
Oh, that's remarkable.
But he's a singer too, and I find that just very odd that the two Wolverine guys that played him,
I know,
are singers.
Yeah, it's quite a remarkable coincidence there.
I know. It just hit me like a couple of days ago. Like when I saw him on TV, though, year and a half, 2 years ago, whatever. Went like, no, he's not gonna. And then he started singing and dancing. I'm like, oh, jeez. What do you say? Oh, jeez, stop it. Anyway.
So listening to you right now, I'm hearing an accent. Where are you originally from?
You're hearing an accent. You should be hearing any Canada. Well, no. I mean, I was born in Dublin, but you can't be getting any Irish thing.
I hear a little bit of it, yes.
Wow. That's funny. They said yesterday, because I had a 5-hour session yesterday doing for Canadian films. We're doing what's his name? Oh, an Alec Baldwin-ish read.
Okay.
And it turned me, and I said to them, and I wore my Wolverine jacket, and they all just freaked out when I walked in. They were like, holy shit, I love that jacket, Anyway, and so, because Baldwin, a lot of times, this gravel in the bottom end of his voice, I don't know if you saw the movie The Tannenbaums. Mm-hmm. He does the intro to that, like, Royal was born, da-da-da-da-da. And, he has that gravelly thing at the bottom sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I did 5 hours of that yesterday, so I'm a bit hoarse. So they said, in the thing, okay, we're picking up a little bit of Irish accent. I said, you're kidding me. I mean, no, I was born in Dublin, Ireland, and my sister was born there. My other brother and 2 brothers were born back here in Canada, or over here in Canada. But there would be no accent for me, other than listening to my mom and naturally doing an Irish accent whenever it's appropriate. And of course, there's no lack of swear words with any Irish people at all.
Oh yeah, that's so true. I'm actually mostly Irish myself, so yeah, I get it. Yeah. How did you become Wolverine? How did you go from being a singer to voicing Wolverine?
Well, and that was the question I asked too, because I didn't. If you're in voice work, you need an agent to get you work, because you don't, And I was not in voice work. I was a singer, and I just happened to do a singer thing, like a sergeant, and it was like Chrysler cars, trucks, or something. And I was the sergeant, so I had to say, who's got all the 4x4s? And the rest of the guys would sing, Chrysler's got the 4x4s, sound off, would be me, that kind of shit. And this girl, they were casting for the last person that they cast was Wolverine. They were just having a problem. No one was happy. And all the guys were in there, like Joe Calamari from New York, Sydney I want her from L.A., and our voice director, Dan Hennessy. And I didn't know any of these people, even the voice. And the woman that called me, excuse me, Tim, said, would you like to, because I had never done voiceovers. But this is so bizarre. Mm-hmm. This is why the guy that wrote the book, Eric and Julia Lewald, the book's now complete and stuff, said that this was so magical the way this whole show came about, because the people just sort of fell into place. And he said it was just, the cast was perfect for everyone, and everyone was so happy, and it just worked so perfectly. So I was an unknown to these people, because, singers don't see voiceover people, because we do the singing, and then the voiceover guy comes in when we're all done and does his voiceover, or vice versa. So we would never see those guys. So I go into to the audition, and I go in the booth with the headset on, and Dan comes in and says, okay, here's the deal. He said, so who is this guy? What is Wolverine? Like, what are we doing here? And he said, oh, it's called the X-Men, and it's an animated series. I said, oh, okay. And he said, and so he tried to describe him. He said, here's a picture of him. I said, oh. I said, that's cute. And he said, I said, well, so what? He said, well, it's just, he's very intense. And he told me about his adamantium claws, and it can't be, his healing and stuff. And he said, so I said, what, well, who do you hear? He said, well, he started mentioning names like Steve McQueen. So Ward Bond was another name he gave me. And then, of course, he said Clint Eastwood. And I said, okay. So I didn't know what to do. So they gave me the script. And I just went back to it. Like, I was brought up in a pretty tough little town on Lake Erie in Ontario, in Port Dover here, in Ontario. And I heard these part of the read that they gave me to read was like, this is like water off a duck's back. And I could just picture the dude saying this, in my little town, whatever. And so I put a bit of Wolfman Jack. Do you remember Wolfman Jack?
I do, yes.
Yeah, baby. I am the Wolfman. I put a bit of him in with Clint Eastwood and came up with this thing. And, the first thing that I read to them was like, whatever, I guess it must have been to Sabretooth, and it was like, you always like picking on people smaller than you. Well, I'm smaller than you. Pick on me, pal. That thing.
Love it.
And I looked in the control room, and they all were standing up. They all just stood up and threw their heads in the air. Just went like, "F*** me, we got him." It was like they were so relieved. They just went like, "Holy shit!" And they kept bringing me out more scripts. Read this. Go read that stuff. And I did. It was just it was like Mr. Fucking tough guy. Okay, pal. You would like picking on people smaller than you? I got an idea. I'm smaller than you. Pick on me. Loving to protect people that are, being taken advantage of and stuff. Just naturally in my own life, it was like this was an easy thing for me to read, but they just went ape. And they said, perfect. So I went home, and then the next night they called me and said, you have, and this is without an agent.
Wow.
So when it came to doing the first, and then we had to go we went to meet into the studio to record in a real studio thing, and I spent, I'm going to say 5 to 6 hours just going over Wolverine's voice and what I was going to do with him, and how was he going to sound when he wasn't angry, and how does he talk when he was just talking to the professor. Like the scene where he's going to leave the X-Men, where he almost hurt Jubilee or something when he split the car up in half or something, and he was just talking normal, and then he almost started crying and stuff. Mm-hmm. So we for 5 or 6 hours, and then it was done. They said, "It's a go. Let's go." And it was weird because I didn't know any of the other guys, and they're all voice workers that were famous for doing voiceovers and stuff. And they're all good friends now, but when I walked in, they're like, well, who's this guy? So right away, being just like Wolverine, I was on the outside.
That's true.
And a loner, and just like, okay, well, you don't like me? Tough. And that's what he would say. He would just say, well, I go where I want to go. You go where you want to go. Okay, pal? That's the way it is.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see, every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
You said you made friends with them over the years. Are you still in communication with some of your past, X-Men?
Oh yeah, Norm I see all the time. He was Cyclops, and I just hated him. I mean the character.
Yeah.
And we would because after you finish your own part, if there's like extra characters that just makes one appearance in this, you get an extra read. So you get an extra part, you get like another $500 or something, for doing one line of somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, there was one, I don't remember the episode, I'm trying to find it, where they're in a bar and playing pool. And one of the guys that's playing pool, Wolverine, of course, ends up pinning up against the wall.
Yes, I remember that episode, yes.
They figured had to sound like Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
And they said, does anyone do Jack Nicholson? Yeah, Jack. And so Norm, of course, Cyclops, puts his hand up, and I looked at him and said, really? You think you do? So he does his read. It as at the line I said, excuse me, can I just give that a whirl? I'm standing right beside Norm, and I don't know what the line was. It's like, whatever it takes, is this as good as it gets? And whatever the guy said, and it was a perfect Jack, and Norm just looked at me and said, you hole. You hole. I said, thank you very much. You made my day, Norm. But anyway, that was wonderful fun in the sessions because they were great guys. But again, I was like the singer in there, invading their territory.
But it was a riot. You were the singer playing the bad of the show, so it had to have been amazing.
Oh, it was astounding. And we didn't know at that point. But the rest of the cast didn't know. We were totally unfamiliar with the X-Men, and Beast, and Gambit and Rogue. They were all just flying by the seat of our pants. But they were all so good. Rogue had this incredible voice. I just loved listening to her talk.
Oh, I know, seriously.
She had that great gravel in her voice that I loved, and Gambit was great with the kind of French Acadian accent. Cher, everyone Cher, whatever from the Louisiana, that kind of stuff. And he was so they were all really, really good, and Beast was fantastic. George Booza, and they were just all wonderful people. I see them all. I see George, Beast, and Cyclops all the time. I don't see much of Gambit because he's more into TV. He's got a steady TV gig. So him I don't see. Obviously, and who else? The girls. So I don't see any of them either. Every now and then I see Jubilee.
Oh yeah,
he's a sweetheart.
Yeah,
he was a sweetheart too. So. But that's another amazing thing because all the talent, and these people were from New York and L.A., and I must have been a money thing, but all the talent was Canadian.
Yeah, I know.
Another thing I found very weird, and I did a podcast 2 nights ago, my first ever, and they were in Liverpool, and it was like being interviewed by the Beatles.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It was hilarious, and they were freaking out. Tim, they were just like freaking out because I said this is the very first thing worldwide that I've ever done talking about Wolverine.
Wow.
I said, I've just sort of hidden myself and stayed back away from it. I said, but now it's gotten so big that I can't ignore this any longer. And it's, and I missed doing him so much. 5 years of it's like I lost my arm when the show was over.
See, and here I thought I was going to be the first podcast interview.
Well, you're the second. Well, but this was a visual thing, and it was just weird, and that was it's crazy. So they freaked out. Said and they're what the hell are they called? They're in the UK, something UK nerds, super nerds UK. Anyway, so it was weird doing that, especially with a visual.
Yeah, that would be so strange.
I usually don't like that. But I just threw caution to the wind and said, "Oh, what the hell?" And I wore my jacket, and they loved seeing the jacket.
But it's all because Wolverine has become such an iconic character, and you would think, most people probably would think it started with Hugh Jackman, but no. It honestly started with the animated series and with you. If it wasn't for you...
Oh, no. The only reason there was a movie or any movies was because of the animated series.
Exactly.
And the huge success that it was, and the huge success the huge effect it had on, on the Fox network.
Mm-hmm.
As talking to Eric and Julia, Eric was responsible for putting this whole series together, the X-Men series years ago, and getting it on air, and it put the Fox network on top against NBC and CBS. They were the number one network after X-Men premiered on Saturday mornings.
Wow.
Their rates, they just soared. They were like the number one network.
Which is crazy because I heard after the first season, you guys were like, you didn't know if a second season was going to even happen.
Oh, I know. And it just kept getting better.
Yeah.
It just kept getting better. The writing and the animation was the best anyone had ever seen. It was just because I guess they started with whoever they started with at first, for the first, 4, 6, 3 episodes, whatever. They stopped and went immediately with some other people and whoever they were, and whether it was Saban or I don't know. It was they were 100% better, and the animation was superb. I don't know if you remember.
I do.
But
yeah.
I mean, even watching them, I bought all 5 years.
Yep, so do I.
And it's just fantastic, and the work that went into it, and the writing is so fucking funny. Wolverine has the best fucking lines of anyone. Pardon my French, but
he definitely does.
No, he does. It's so Christ. I mean, I'm looking back at these shows and I forget all the lines. The alarm clock wakes him up, and he just rolls over and busts the alarm clock into pieces because the claws are out. The idiot. And he says, "Oh, I hate when I do that." And then he gets up and he's walking. He's obviously pissed off at this is an emergency call, Professor Xavier, and he's walking across the scene and he says, "This better be good, because if I don't get a full night's sleep, I'm crabby all day." Like he's really nice most of the days.
Seriously,
I don't think so. or if I don't get a good night's sleep, I'm crabby all day. Oh, geez, what do we do? Would be Cyclops and my remark. Oh, wow. I wonder if we'll ever get used to that. Oh.
So what about his voice? We talked about where you came up with it, but did that voice ever just like kill your vocals?
Oh God, yeah, I couldn't. It was like what? Because doing an episode, depending on how rough it was for me, because half the time, as you know, I was fighting either with whoever, but especially when What's His Arse was involved, Sabretooth. Those fights went on for like 2 minutes. And it was constant, like, wow! I couldn't sing. I wouldn't be able to sing if I had anything else that day or the next day, because I can hear it in my voice now. But it's just but literally doing that and stuff and we'd do it for the sake of 1 minute on the screen. This would go on. We'd have to do it like 2 or 3 times. And that would be myself and Don Franks, God bless his soul, because he died.
He just passed away last year.
About a year ago. I mean, he was 82 or 3 or something. What a great guy he was. But anyway, so yeah, it was definitely exhausting, depending on what the episode, how much I was involved in the episode. So yeah, and I definitely would lose my voice.
I bet. Yeah. I can't even imitate it for more than 2 minutes without losing my voice.
Oh, I know. Well, I'm finding now because I quit smoking, and I used to smoke like a fiend, and I quit smoking 2.5 years ago. And it's decked with my voice. It's still clearing the stuff from smoking.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking different so I get hoarse quicker, which is odd. because I don't know, and it was very easy for me to do gravel and stuff when I was smoking because that was constantly, it was there. I could use it. You know, the phlegm or whatever it is that gives you the gravel. Now I don't smoke, and it's not there naturally, and so I have to it's hard for me to. But then when I listen to these shows, because your voice drops as you age and stuff, he's a bit higher than I thought he was. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like in that, yeah. So you listen to so at my website, there's that one speech that I love to death, which is obviously the Clint Eastwood thing.
Yes.
I know what you're thinking, punk. You know, it's the whole Clint Eastwood speech. But I love that scene, and and that's so it fits him, suits him so well. Like just again, like a hot knife through butter, buddy. You got to ask yourself, do I feel lucky?
I love it. I love how passionate you are now about this character, a character that you've done, 20-something years ago.
I miss him so much. Well, now it's getting so ridiculous because of the movie. Well, today specifically, because the movie premiered.
Yeah.
And I'm getting reviews from all the people that follow me on Twitter, which I told you was a joke. My wife put me on Twitter. That's a lovely thing. Again, I can barely call you on the fucking phone, and she's got me on Twitter. What the is Twitter? Oh no, Twitter.
That's hilarious.
So I get all these tweets, and I don't even know how to answer them or say love or like it and stuff. I said, because I have a stupid BlackBerry. And she said, the sooner you dump that thing and throw it away and get on a real phone, the better your life will be. It's a crap, this phone that I have. And it's the latest BlackBerry, but it just doesn't know. It doesn't know how to deal with this stuff, and it's not helping me out any. But the point being that I'm getting so many Twitters today wishing, and they're all sad because he dies in the movie, of course.
Yeah.
In the thing, and so they figure it's all over, and goodbye to at real Cal Dodd, and that whole sayonara. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm dead? Turns into the lion from the Wizard of Oz. Oh, so come on, put him up.
Behold my precious. Ooh, let me do something right here. It's the Loot Crate subscription box, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude! Cowabunga!
To the Loot Gaming video game box.
Woohoo! Yee-hoo!
Good Friday Horror Box. What's with kids today, huh?
Wowzers! With crates starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors. To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/Loot Crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIX media.us/Loot Crate. Great Scott!
Snap into a Loot Crate, dig it?
Dear John, I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to when you checked on me? I don't want to leave, but remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart and don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range today. For help keeping yours at a healthy range, text PRESSURE to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman!
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
Speaking of the movies, what have you thought about the X-Men franchise since your involvement in it?
I found it real hard to watch the very first one because, as I told you, I met Hugh at a function before. I think he was down getting ready to shoot the thing. It was probably 6 months before they started the shoot. Did I tell you the story?
You didn't? No.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I was introduced to him and met him, and he said, "Oh, Mike, I'm getting really sick of hearing your voice. I'm getting really no, I'm not sick. I'm getting really tired of hearing your voice." I said, "Oh, well," he said, no, it's a compliment. He said, "It's a great voice, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it." But they wanted him to listen to it. That was his only reference, as you were saying.
Yes.
There would be no movies where the animated show series not as successful as it was, with millions of children. Like to the UK, States, Europe, it was, we had no idea that it was in all those countries. And they would have me phoning some little kid and waking him up as a prize, doing through the Fox network. If you Wolverine will be calling one lucky person if you send in something, and the winner, they would tell me, and I'd get on the phone at the studio, and his mom had to wake him up. She said, "Jerry, there's someone on the phone for you." And the kid was probably 9.
Wow.
And he just freaked out because I would waking him up and talking to him as Wolverine. The kid just couldn't, they can't fathom it.
No, they can't.
For me, it'd be like growing up watching Popeye, and Popeye calls me.
Eat your spinach.
Well, hello, gal. Well, blow me down. But so those kind of things were very, very cool. And then the games and the dolls, the big dolls, you push the button, and I would say about 20 different lines. And my nieces and nephews would look at the doll and then look at me and go like, "Yeah, it's not possible." And they'd just walk away. "How did you get in there? How did you get in that toy?" "Well, it's not easy."
Do you have a lot of Wolverine like merchandise at all around your house now? Any memorabilia?
No, I don't. Like anything that I got, aside from the jackets, I had 2 jackets. And, of course, I have an unbelievable cell that they gave each of us. They gave us a cell of our character.
Yeah.
And I have 2 of them that are just supreme, like the first cell ever drawn of Wolverine. And they're just and one, beside one, they have the actual, just the pencil drawing of him. And then right beside that is the animation, after the animator is through painting it and stuff.
Yep.
And it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I collect cells myself. I have a couple X-Men one. I have a Sabretooth one. It's really cool. From
our show, you mean?
Yep.
Like from whoever drew Sabretooth with the X-Men series?
Yep, exactly. From your series. I have I forget which episode it is.
How do you get those?
There's people online. There's websites that are dedicated to animation cells and all that you can buy them from. That's where I get most of mine.
Oh, okay. And so when I couldn't watch the first one because I was there sort of with an attitude. I didn't even go to the theaters. I wouldn't go and see it because I didn't know what the hell this is going to look like or sound like. As I'm thinking, Wolverine was like 5'3" or something.
Exactly, yeah.
Not 6'3" and 225 pounds. But anyway, it's after I eventually saw it on my TV at home, whatever, and I loved the way he portrayed him. I thought he captured the lonesomeness that was inside, the tension that was built up inside him. I thought he did an unbelievable job.
To me, I can tell he used the animated series as a reference. I can see your version inside of that movie.
Oh God, yeah. And I laughed a number of times when I finally forced myself to watch the first episode, because the animated series was so good and just funny here and there and stuff. But I found myself laughing at just things that he was saying, the writing and the way he was trying to say it.
Yeah.
I know what he's trying to do there. Yeah. So. Yeah, but I think he was fantastic. And 16, 17 years now he's been doing this?
That's ridiculous, I know. 17 years.
It's that, and no one, we've had like 3 or 4 different Batmans.
Yeah. Yeah.
But only one Wolverine as his only right, and it was just great that they didn't, get someone else or whatever.
He almost
just leave it.
Yeah, he was. Did you know that he wasn't even he wasn't like the first choice. They actually hired somebody else to do it originally, and he had to back out because he was tied to, I think it was Mission Impossible 2, and that's when they looked at Hugh Jackman. So he was almost not even Wolverine.
Who was the other guy?
I don't remember. Actually, let me look it up right now. I don't remember his name.
But he was supposed to be. He had to back out because he was doing.
He was doing another movie and it was running late. Mission Impossible 2 with Tom Cruise.
Oh.
Let me look it up because I just saw the article today.
Okay. Wow.
Let me see. Doug Rhys Scott. I don't know who Doug Rhys Scott is.
Who? Dudley?
Doug Ray Scott?
Doug?
Dougray. Doug Ray Scott.
Oh, Doug Ray Scott
was supposed to be Wolverine in the first movie, but he had to back out because it was running too late so he couldn't.
That's funny. I remember something about that. Beast was in Beast that was in our animated series thing. George Booza. He's a big guy. He looks like a biker.
Yeah.
Big, huge guy, and he got a bit part in the.
Yeah, I know. I saw that
movie.
Yeah, I love that. I wish they would have done more because when I interviewed Chris Potter last summer, he told me he actually auditioned for a role to be in the movie, and they didn't have him in there.
Well, see, this pissed me off that they didn't even ask me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
I'm not an ugly fucking guy. And I'm not 6'3", but 6 foot. And I don't know. It was probably just no previous movie acting experience. I mean, I'd had my own TV show for 5 years and done comedic, skits and shows, with Barbie Benton, with Barbie Benton and what was his name? A great piano guy that was based in Las Vegas. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, it was a show based out of Hamilton, Ontario, but the premise was that we're in a bar in Vegas, and I'm like the lounge singer, which is what Eric Lawald called me. Did I tell you this?
No.
Oh, this is super. So I sent Eric a CD to the guys in another place in L.A., 4 or 5 guys that I forget what they're called too. But anyway, I sent him in a CD that I did like 6 years ago, and it's really good. And they're the best players in Canada are on this thing, and actually in some cases 2 of the best players in the world on their instruments. And it's like a big band album. So I don't know if you're familiar with Bublé's crap.
Oh yeah.
Michael Bublé's and Frank Sinatra type stuff. But, not Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, just songs that these cats, the musicians that I've worked with for like 30 years, said, why haven't you done this? Do this album, come on. So they wanted to play and do the thing. So we did an album, and the songs that I really liked, and, we did it, and it was fantastic. And let me see, I sent it to Eric. And so he's doing this interview for an hour with these guys, talking about all the cast and stuff. He says, and our Wolverine, Cal Dodd, is a lounge singer. When I heard it, I went, Jesus, what the what? No, don't say lounge singer. You can call me anything in the world, but never say lounge singer. I just see Saturday Night Live, lounge singer. Oh, Christ, wow. I could have killed him. So I corrected him by email. I said, Eric, he said, it was very nice that you mentioned my name, but please don't use the term lounge ever and Cal Dodd in the same sentence. After the different voices I do in the rock stuff and the tour with Joe Cocker and stuff, the lounge singer is just the worst thing you can call anyone.
I love it.
It's
wow.
But it's like, no, Eric. Well, he apologized on the next thing that he went public with. He's a jazz vocalist. He's a jazz singer. So now I'm Al Jolson.
Wow.
Al Jolson, then the jazz singer, 1922. Oh God.
What would Wolverine sound like if he tried to sing?
Oh, I've tried it. It would be that's just like Wolfman Jack singing.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't. It would hurt. It would hurt too much to sing a line.
I bet. Wow.
I've got you under my skin. You couldn't. I've got you under my skin. No, you just couldn't do that. Just believe me, I thought of doing that.
You should make a whole CD just out of that. You'd make millions of dollars.
Oh, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I thought about that, but I thought maybe he would just sing the album.
Yeah, like a Shatner thing.
Yes, exactly. Oh, yeah. That was a big seller.
Oh, yeah.
Shatner thing.
Huge. Yeah.
No, but you believe me, Tim, I thought about doing that. But you can't sing because it just hurts too much.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and because I toured with Joe Cocker, and to do Joe, I could do the best Joe Cocker you ever heard in your life.
Oh, wow.
Because I toured with him and I watched him.
But, I love Joe Cocker.
No, so do I. And so, why can't Wolverine? It's like people, the way they talk doesn't mean that's the way they sound when they sing. Like Gomer Pyle. Gomer Pyle used to have that stupid accent, Shazam, but then when he sang, he was like here comes this beautiful voice out of that dumb sounding voice, talking voice. So I don't know. It's like Wolverine sings. Oh God. Yeah. Okay. Next question.
Or if you want to, since Hugh Jackman is no longer going to be Wolverine, you can just start working out now and just pull on some, yellow spandex, and you could be the next Wolverine.
Yellow spandex?
Oh yeah. Look good on you, I think.
Oh yeah. And it should, because I had the TV show Circus. That's all we wore.
Oh, there you go.
Well, not all we wore, but as the stars of the show, this girl and myself, it was like the Donnie and Marie show. I was, of course, Donnie, and we wore like tight white spandex pants with the big black, what do you call the guy that's in the ringmaster, with the big black boots up to your knee, and then a red jacket, with a top hat. That was to start the show. We always started like that, and then, of course, went into different outfits and stuff. But yeah, so spandex, I'm all over that.
Oh, perfect. So you're used to it already then.
Yeah.
So what's up with you now? What are you doing nowadays that you wanted to talk about?
I'm just doing jingles whenever there are any. Like I said, they're few and far between. But if there are any, I'll be doing them. And voiceovers and voice work. What else? What have I done? Well, I just did something for the Canadian Film on April 19th, Canadian Film Show or something. It's not the festival, but it was very funny. As I said, what's his name? Alec Baldwin. For 5 hours yesterday. But what have I got? I'm trying to think of what's on the air now. And I did because I do a great Ted Knight. Oh. And I did, from Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah.
That show, I loved him. But anyway, so I do anything that requires that kind of a voice. That's me.
Okay.
Which again, Norm off. Cyclops. If we walk into the same audition, I just saw him last week. We walk into the same audition, he just stops and goes, "Why do I even bother coming?" He is so funny. Why do I even bother coming if you're here?
Sounds like I need to do an interview with both of you together at the same time.
That would be hilarious. No, he makes me laugh. Like, he does the best Johnny Carson I've ever heard. But he would always say that whenever he saw me coming. He said, "Oh, great. Why do I even come? Why do I bother coming in?" I don't know. Why don't you just go home now, Ron? Don't even audition, Norm.
It's just like the Cyclops.
I'll give it a whirl.
Just like the Cyclops and Wolverine, rivalry from the cartoon.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I hated him in the series, because he was Mr. Apple Polisher.
Mr. Perfect.
Apple Polisher, Squinty. Yeah, go ahead, pretty boy. Yeah, what was that line? Something pretty boy. Yeah, go ahead, pretty boy. Or give it a whirl. Or what is that line? Like, bring it on. Bring it on, pretty boy. Because he was stealing my girlfriend.
Love it. Okay.
Anyway, so.
Did you want to plug your website and Twitter while we're closing it out?
What about it? You can give that out.
Is it caldodd.com? Is that just it?
Yeah, CALDODD.com. Just one other thing, like the way I think the huge success that it was because children, and this is another great story, Tim.
Okay.
The children, they all could identify with one of the characters, male or female.
Yeah.
With Rogue and with Jubilee or whatever. There was every age was covered in there because Jubilee was like 13 or 14, whatever. And the kids, it was because these people were all outcasts. If they were, if ever you were bullied in school and stuff like that, you loved these characters in X-Men. And there's a story that this guy wrote, Eric and his wife, in the book that they just published. He was on the verge of suicide. Wow. Growing up as when he was like 9, 10, 11.
Wow.
And at 12, he was going to jump off the roof. He was going to commit suicide. And he was so in love with Wolverine would not do that. And Wolverine, they were all different, and so he was different. He couldn't commit suicide because he would have missed the Saturday X-Men episode.
Oh man,
it just touched my heart. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
The only reason he didn't commit suicide was because, well, I won't see the X-Men on Saturday morning.
Wow.
And told his parents got help for him, obviously. And they found out who was bullying him and stuff, and because he was a bit overweight, that kind of a situation. Okay. So the kids just loved these characters because they were picked on, all the X-Men, for being different.
Yeah. I can relate to that because I was as well picked on during school too, around the same time X-Men came out. So I can definitely relate to that.
Wow, it's it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I got growing up. I got it because I could sing, and I was like a really good singer.
Yeah.
And had to practice with my mom and stuff, and would go and sing at the other schools where I didn't. I was gonna start playing hockey with these guys. It was like, hey, sissy boy. So,
yep,
sissy
exactly.
boy. And I'll tell you, I ended up going to a boarding school and came back after grade 11, very, very much bigger. And trained in different wrestling and all the stuff that you get at private school that you wouldn't get in my little hometown. Well, I made short work of those people. I just went back. I was basically knocked on their door and said, "Yeah, is Larry here?" The one that punched me out many times, and they called me sissy boy. I found every one of them.
I love
and
it.
Didn't do any. Yeah. So do I. It was just made my day.
Yeah, I did the same thing because I went back to my high school reunion like 8 years ago for my 10-year reunion. And back during high school, I was the shortest guy in school. I was, I don't know, maybe about 5'6"-ish, but I was pushing, I was like 280 something when I was in high school. And now I'm 6'5" and I'm 200 pounds.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And so they didn't see me since I left high school. So I got a lot of people apologizing. I know, it was great, and just shows...
Oh, no kidding.
It just shows people that things can change, you know what I mean? Things may be hard now, but things can change.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, man. So what, did you get, like, pipsqueak? Like,
I got called so many...
Come here, pipsqueak.
Yeah, I got called so many things as a teenager. It was bad.
All right, well then, it's been a riot, Tim.
Yeah, man, can I have you close out the interview as Wolverine?
Yeah, this is Wolverine talking. I just finished a fantastic interview with Tim from Saturday Morning Rewind. So listen up, bub, and don't miss a thing. Later.
Thanks for listening to Saturday Morning Rewind. Please check them out on Facebook and Twitter. And that's all, folks.